like herding cats. And I want to thank Bob for your efforts and the team with We the People Foundation for getting all these people together and herding all the big cats in one room. And it's really an honor to be included in this group. And in that spirit, I wholeheartedly support any effort that brings people working for freedom together, especially the Continental Congress of 2009. A lot of you have heard my speech, the Revolution March, and perhaps at a number of other rallies. And there's a problem with giving a speech like that, and that is that people expect you to talk like that all the time. And I figured that with such an auspicious audience today, an appeal to reason and intelligence would be more appropriate, as well as to passion. But for a little background, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Kokesh, and I served as a sergeant on a Marine Corps Civil Affairs team in the Fallujah area from February to September of 2004. I joined the Marine Corps because I wanted to have my life on the line for something I believed in. And I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the one time I had a chance to put my life on the line for my country in uniform, they took the believe-in part away. And some of us found out the hard way that the greatest enemies of the Constitution are not to be found in the sands of some far-off land, but rather right here at home.
That's right.
So when I got out of the military, I was able to separate myself a little bit from that emotional experience and get a little perspective on the propaganda. I joined Iraq Veterans Against the War, and now serve on the board of directors. And we are an organization of global war on terror veterans of a wide range of political ideologies coming together around the singular goal of achieving the immediate withdrawal of all occupying forces from Iraq. And since then, I have been actually before then, I was an ardent Ron Paul supporter. The transition for me was, I can only describe a transition from an intellectual libertarian to a spiritual libertarian. And it was about the realization, the visceral knowledge that the issues that we debate are not academic. They are truly a matter of life and death. And if we do not bring the same commitment to this cause that our founders did, we will not succeed. But knowing the people in this room, I have no doubt that we will. Since then, I've become symbolic of the military support for Ron Paul, or been said to have become symbolic for Ron Paul having gotten more campaign contributions, as I'm sure everybody here knows, from active duty troops in the primaries and all other presidential candidates put together. There is only one thing that is sacred about this country. And it's not our borders, it's not our military, it's not our economy, sure as heck is not our government, but it's not even the Constitution or the Declaration itself. It is only the principles of liberty upon which this country was founded, and the fact that our founders pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to that cause. And I implore you to not let the vision of the founders slip away, because it was not that we are creating a nation of liberty. It is that we are creating a nation destined to achieve, to continue the path of liberty that they set forth for us. It is not an achievement that they accomplished that we need to go back to, but a vision that we need to fulfill. And I use the term founders and not founding fathers very deliberately, as in the spirit that was mentioned yesterday here. We honor the contributions of the women to our movement. And I'm not trying to be politically correct, but to say founding fathers does a great discredit to all the women, not of just our revolution, but of the first American Revolution, who gave so much and sacrificed so much for this cause. Although the Constitution is not sacred, I celebrate it as a means of restraining government power. And I take it upon myself as an activist to do three things. One is to pull people out of their bubbles. where they don't consider anything that doesn't affect their quality of their daily life or the moral implications of their actions, to end the suffering associated with statism, and to bring about the paradigm shift necessary for this revolution. Those are three distinct goals. And in that, I'm happy to share with you today that I have formed an exploratory committee and intend to run for Congress from my home state of New Mexico in the 3rd District from Santa Fe, my hometown. Now, from our freedom-oriented perspective, from our philosophy, if we share what to us are the great injustices, we can build this movement. And my policy, or my platform rather, is built on, to me, what are the greatest injustices of statism in our current day. And it's something that I've found is a broad appeal to people of all ideologies in a way that we can bring them into our movement. And that's in our foreign policy, unconstitutional when we can't afford, a criminal monetary policy that exists for the concentration of wealth and power, a system of corporatism at the expense of individual economic rights, and all the ways in which the government behaves like it owns us rather than serves us through the drug war, the FDA, the disregard for civil liberties, and an abusive system of taxation. And it is through sharing these great injustices that I've already seen in my campaign, we are growing the freedom movement. We are accepting a broader definition of the freedom movement, of everybody who is in this country who sees that our government is too big, too burdensome, not representing our truly benevolent will in our foreign policy, and really embrace the desire to enjoy liberty for themselves. And for those of you similarly motivated by a great intolerance of injustice, I would hope that you would support my campaign, but more importantly, I beseech you to embrace a vision of liberty that is broad enough to include every last freedom-loving man, woman, and child in this great country, so that we may fulfill our founders' vision and complete this new revolution in America. Thank you.